We will see in the ensuing weeks an increase in mosquito-borne diseases. Within 6 weeks, we can expect outbreaks of dengue and whatever else is lying around, waiting for these appropriate conditions to manifest. The public health inspectors, they need to be empowered immediately so that they can start their food safety checks. They can inspect for water sources that they are potable, they have not been contaminated. Basic materials such as food temperature thermometers must be provided. We must increase vector control activities immediately. And this is not just fogging, but source control. Otherwise, we're going to see a massive outbreak of dengue. The gastroenteritis from the consumption of spoiled foods, already we hear reports of persons eating rotted or rotting carcasses. And the unavailability of potable water will lead to diarrhea, dehydration, and in the most vulnerable, the elderly, the children, and the pregnant mothers, it may mean death.
That, of course, is the opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes. He says medical issues in the hard-hit areas will not be solved with the current plan.
Thinking that a field hospital being set up means that it is an appropriate response to a catastrophe of this nature. A hospital is secondary care. There is no primary care in any of the affected parishes at the moment. This means that the clinics are closed. It means that diabetics, hypertensives, persons with heart disease, kidney disease, those who have a diabetic foot ulcer, they're not being treated. And it means that they're going to have exacerbations and complications of their diseases. And already we are seeing where those who have access to the hospitals have been flooding the hospital.
While you scroll past hurricane footage, Jamaicans are dying from something you can't see on the camera. The hurricane stopped, yes, the news cameras left, but in St. Elizabeth's, West Milan and St. James, the real apocalypse just started. No running water, no bathrooms, sewage mixing with drinking water, dead animals floating in the streets, and the Jamaican government, they are setting up field hospitals where cholera bacteria are already active in the West. This is not just about a storm anymore. I'm talking about what happens when the infrastructure you've been neglecting for decades get exposed in 72 hours. And if you think this is just a Jamaican problem, you're not paying attention to what is coming for every single Caribbean and African nation that built its house on sand. This is the conversation they don't want us to have it, but today I want us to talk about this, what is looming in Jamaica. Let us watch these clips and then I'll be back to discuss everything with you guys.
Today is Tuesday, November 4, 2025, and this message is to the people in Jamaica where the hurricane mash up and them they out in the field. See, they must soldier it out. But after most natural disaster, what typically follows if them not follow protocol is the outbreak of disease. You have a lot of people go down there and provide aid. Hopefully them can see this video and pass on this message. Field sanitation. There are 5 F of field sanitation, and one thing with army, them break down everything simple. We break it down simple because, to be honest with you, one of the brightest people joined the military. So we have to break it down simple. So the 5 F of field sanitation: finger, fluid, food, flies, feces. How that work? Finger, make sure you have clean hands at touch food or serve food or if you deal with anything with food. Clean hands. You might not have potable water out there right now. So, as best as possible, try not to touch food that you're going to consume with your dirty hands. Next, fluid. Clean water. Clean water, very important. Make sure not consume clean water. There's a dead bodies, everything out there's a contaminated. Stay away from dirty water. Number 3, food. Clean, proper food. We don't have refrigerator, electricity and all that gone, so no refrigerator for keep food at the proper temperature, store food or eating food, meaning the temperature that food's supposed to be consumed at or kept at. So all of that. Then flies. Flies spread disease. Meaning, if you have dead body, there's a fly pitch on that and then step on it and come over, come pitch on food or anything where you consume, spread disease there. And then feces, normal body function. Make sure say, uno do that at least 100 meters away from the regular populace. Meaning, there's probably not proper latrine or toilet facilities. However, use the field, dig a hole, do your business, cover it up. We have to maintain that, or else, if we have a disease outbreak, it will go be wickeder than the hurricane. So remember, 5F of field sanitation: finger, fluid, food, flies, feces. Please.
From the living conditions that people are experiencing in Jamaica right now, those people needed to be evacuated from the affected areas with the dirty water, the animals still floating in the water, people using the bathroom where they're eating at and not washing their hands. There's going to be an outbreak. The government need to evacuate those people from those areas right away. Do anybody know what cholera is? The symptoms is diarrhea. All right? Diarrhea, fever. If you see anybody experiencing these symptoms around you, wash your hands in between coming into contact with them. If you're in Jamaica, don't even send your kids to school right now. Please share this video. To my people in Jamaica, please share this video. I know it sounds crazy, but we're going to wait for the outbreak to happen to start taking actions. It's been a week. All right, it's been a week, so I'm sure it's already going around down there. Is anybody experiencing these symptoms?
Guys, I'm not at work, but I still feel like I have a moral and professional obligation to inform you guys about food safety. So I've been seeing a couple of videos on TikTok where persons have discovered a spring. I don't know what's the exact source, but this water is being bottled, which I assume is for consumption. And I just want to remind you guys that not all water that appears to be clear and clean is safe for drinking. While there are no debris in the water, please be reminded that there are microorganisms, particular bacteria, which can cause major foodborne illnesses. And the ones that we're most concerned about include typhoid fever, cholera, and gastroenteritis. And the last thing that Jamaica needs right now on top of this disaster is a foodborne disease outbreak. I do understand that there is a crisis and access to clean, safe water is limited. What I would advise is that you at least boil the water before consuming it. I'm not going to say add bleach, which is another alternative, because I don't know the state of the devastation that you're in. Some people not even have clothes on them back, so I not expect someone if you have bleach. But if you do have 5% bleach, you can add that to the water. For the persons who are packing care packages, it would be good if you could add bleach to the care packages so that these persons can add it to their water. Another thing that I want to address are the persons who are donating food items. I love the initiative, I love the effort, but please be mindful not to donate expired food, especially canned products. Do not donate any expired goods to these people. You are doing a major disservice, and that also can cause outbreak of another major foodborne illness. For the persons who are cooking, like donating cooked foods, please observe all food safety principles that you learn in your food handlers training, because diseases, they don't respect crisis. So no matter what's going on, everything remain the same. Wear your earnet, wash your hand with antibacterial soap, maintain food temperatures, everything still apply. I hope this information helps. You can share it to spread awareness. And if we have not more to tell you, I will tell you. Goodbye.
I'm saying if you keep on the kids home because a lot of chaos is about to outbreak. But also the Minister of Education says school is open. But anyways, I found a choice if you don't want to send out to the kids in a them chaotic time. Yeah.
So my side, it is being said that Jamaica can face an earthquake up to a magnitude of 7 anytime soon. To put that into perspective so you can understand how strong that earthquake can be, in 1692, Port Royal was sunken by a 7.5 magnitude earthquake. So a 7 is not far off. And not to put salt to the wound, because I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. However, I have vouched to you guys that I'll keep you posted and updated on all the possibilities and everything that is going on with our little lovely island here, so we can prepare ourselves as best as possible. There's not much that you can do to prepare for an earthquake, but the little that we can do to save lives, we should. So this message and warning came from geologist Professor Simon Mitchell of the University of the West Indies after the 5.3 magnitude earthquake we faced last year on August 16, 2024. After that earthquake that left Kingston and St. Andrew very shook, there has been approximately 7 other earthquakes recorded since then, up to this year. So I must advise you, this warning is dated. However, there has been new remarks and warning on the media after Hurricane Melissa because of the pressure that she came with on our island. And it is being said, based on the pressure that she came through with, we might have more built-up pressure and might be experiencing that earthquake a little sooner than we expected. Now, as I have said, we can't prepare wholeheartedly for an earthquake. It is just one of those natural disasters that is very hard to prepare for because it's also very unpredictable. However, the best thing that you can do to prepare for an earthquake as much as you can is to store heavy items and fragile items on low areas. So all those heavy things that you have on your cupboard and your up on shelves, because we are preparing for an earthquake, keep them lower so you have less damages. And next thing is to identify areas in your house that you can take cover. Doorways, strong desk that you can go under, even if your bed frame is properly strong, that you can go under. Things like that can withstand weight, just in case anything should fall down. And lastly, pack supplies for emergency. Food supplies, medic supplies, etc. On my side, just be warned and stay safe. And for all the spiritual people, continue to pray for Jamaica. Big up on yourself.
There was ever a time you needed to boost your immune system, now is the best time. Because remember that in places like St. Elizabeth, West Milan, St. James, a lot of these places have no hospitals anymore. They don't have any functioning bathrooms anymore. So when we have people who are going into these communities, they're going into affected parishes because of course they're trying to help. There is a possibility if you're not taking care, and because they're also consuming a lot of looted goods, etc., it's a possibility there's an outbreak. Remember that there are, mosquitoes, dengue. Like there's so many things we need to look into and realize that we have to ensure that our immune systems are properly boosted. So in case if there is an outbreak, you're not as affected. So please take caution, guys. I'm drinking my soursop leaves, I'm taking my sea moss, and I'm doing my detox to help.
Me I tell every Jamaicans in a Jamaica, don't send a picnic go to school. No matter if you don't want a safe zone in Jamaica and nothing go on where you're there, don't send your kids them outside or send them to no school. Keep your picnic them at your yard because there's going to be an outbreak. Cholera disease done active. The bacteria them active already down the west. The bacteria them done active down the west side. The west side of Jamaica, the western part of Jamaica, the bacteria them active already. Because the dog them were dead, the goat them were dead, the cow them were dead, the chicken them were dead, the sewage water plus the shit them, the pit them overflow, the people them we are shit and can't use the water for wash them on. There's no proper hygiene practices are going down at that side there. The bacteria already active. It are going to spread. I'm I beg government all along on your own list. Tough can them now do nothing at the worst set of human being them there in a Jamaica. Because me see everything. Don't send no pick because there's going to be an outbreak. All of them are saying, for your madman. Me I want to select her from Spanish Town. Me head gone. And I want everything will happen now. I want it from the 26th of October and the storm come at 28th. Me turn to them on social media and tell them the videos are there where me say the rain is 30 to 50 inches that are going to flood the place. Everybody laugh off of me and say, you're a selector, you went into town with a man. But you know what? When people lack of knowledge and look for you as an idiot, them say you're mad. Me turn to them and tell them, say, evacuate the people. Them. As soon as the hurricane, me say, evacuate the people. Them. There's no recovery plan. And me I tell you, say, there's no proper health practices happening down that side. We have bacteria down there in our people body right now. We have people down there, we have diarrhea right now. We have shit. Them have cholera. And it go spread. As me tell you, cholera there already. The symptoms them are show down there. Heat strokes are kill the people them. Dehydration are kill the people them. Yo, some things are gonna happen. Don't send no picnic to school and the whole of the way I say me a madman. Everything me said, everything what the madman said, what them don't do, when you see the effect, there's no recovery plan. And your wholeness are the biggest, wickedest terrorists in Jamaica. Christopher Tufton, me even want to me not talk about him yet, you know. We say my health minister, you know. Him when me say my health minister, you know. And them a debt minister, you know. All right then. Uno go on.
You know what's wild? We watched the hurricane devastate Jamaica in real time on social media. We saw the videos, we sent the prayers, we sent the money. We might even donated to donation through GoFundMe, and then we moved on. But for the people in St. Elizabeth, West Milan, and St. James, the nightmare didn't end when the winds stopped. It evolved into something more insidious, more deadly, and infinitely more preventable. Right now, as I'm recording this video, cholera bacteria are active in western Jamaica. Typhoid fever is on the horizon. Gastroenteritis is spreading. Within 6 weeks, dengue outbreaks are expected. And this is not a speculation. This is what happens when a natural disaster collides with decades of infrastructure, neglect, colonial hangover governance, and a population that has been conditioned to survive rather than thrive. Let me paint you a picture. They're not showing us on the news. There are functioning bathrooms, like there are no functioning bathrooms in these areas. None. People are defecating where they are eating because there's literally nowhere else to go. The water sources, they are contaminated with sewage, dead bodies, and decomposing animals, dogs, cows, and cows, chickens, all over floating in what used to be someone's drinking water. And here's the part that should terrify you. Not all contaminated water looks dirty. You could fill up a cup and it looks crystal clear, but it is teeming with bacteria that that will have you doubled over with a diarrhea within hours. For the elderly, for children, the pregnant mothers, that diarrhea leads to dehydration, and that dehydration, it leads to death. The healthcare systems has collapsed. Clinics are closed. Hospitals that are still functioning are being flooded. Diabetics can't get the insulin. Hypersensitive can't access their medication. People with heart disease, kidney disease, they are sitting in the rubble watching their conditions deteriorate because there is no primary care. The government solution, field hospitals, secondary care, where what people need is basic access to their regular medications. Now, I need you to understand something crucial. This is not about the hurricane. Natural disasters don't create these conditions, they expose them. Jamaica, like so many Caribbean and African nations, including my country, have been operating on borrowed time with infrastructure that was inadequate 20 years ago. We've normalized not having reliable water systems. We have accepted that healthcare is something only the wealthy can truly access. We've watched our governments prioritize tourism infrastructure over community resilience. And when a Category 5 storm rolls through, all those cracks become chance. Right? The 5 F's of field sanitation: fingers, fluid, food, flies, and fishes. These are military protocols that become survival necessities when society collapses. Think about that. Jamaicans are having to implement battlefield hygiene protocols in 2025 because the government could not be bothered to build resilient water and sanitation systems before. Black public health inspectors should be on the ground right now checking water sources and food donations, but they are not empowered. They don't have the resources, right? And meanwhile, well-meaning diaspora are sending care packages with expired canned goods that will trigger another wave of foodborne illness. The road to hell is paved with good intentions and expired corned beef. For those of us in the diaspora, this hits different. We left these islands seeking better opportunities, better infrastructure, better lives. We send money home. We visit during Christmas. We post the beaches on Instagram. But how many of us are willing to have the uncomfortable conversation about why our people are still living like this in 2025? This is the cognitive dissonance of the Caribbean diaspora experience. We are proud of where we come from, but we left because of exactly these systemic failures. And now when disaster strikes, we are confronted with the reality that our families back home are one hurricane away from drinking cholera-infested water. I think about your families in the islands. I think maybe the times that you complain about water being shut off for a few hours, about the roads with potholes, about the hospitals with limited supplies, then you laugh about it, you make memes about it. That's just island life. But it's not funny anymore when the island life means watching preventable diseases kill people because the government failed at the most basic level of governance. Here's what keeps me up at night thinking about this whole situation in Jamaica. There are children in St. Elizabeth right now who are going to die from gastroenteritis, not from hurricane, from contaminated water that had no choice but to drink. There are elderly people who survive the storm only to die from complications of the untreated diabetes. There are mothers who will bury babies because of dysentery, and the world will call it a natural disaster. But it is not. It is administrative violence. It is a structural murder. It is what happens when you build a nation on the logic of extraction rather than the principle of care. The painful truth is this: Caribbean and African nations have been conditioned to accept crisis as normal. We've inherited a colonial mindset that says we are perpetually developing, perpetually recovering, perpetually one disaster away from collapse. And our leaders, many of them educated abroad, living in gated communities with backup generators and water tanks, they've accepted this too. So, what are we going to do about this? Because I refuse to end this on despair. First up, guys, we need to demand better, not ask demand. Demand that Caribbean governments prioritize infrastructure that protects human life over infrastructure that attracts tourists. Demand that our healthcare systems are designed for crisis resilience, not just business as usual. Demand that water and sanitation are treated as human rights, not privileges. Number two, we get smart about diaspora intervention. If you're sending supplies, coordinate with local organizations that understand food safety protocols. Simple. Include water purification tablets and 5% bleach in care packages. Fund local public health workers, not just disaster response. Number three, we tell the truth. Stop romanticizing the struggle. Stop pretending that island resilience is a substitute for functioning governance. Our people shouldn't have to be resilient to preventable diseases. They shouldn't have to boil water in 2025. They shouldn't have to choose between drinking contaminated water or dying of dehydration. And finally, we connect the dots. This is Jamaica today. It could be Trinidad tomorrow. It could be Barbados next month. It could be Ghana next year. Kenya the year after. Climate change is accelerating. Storms are getting stronger. And even nation built on neglected infrastructure is on borrowed time. The hurricane exposed what we've all known but been too afraid to say. Many of our homeland governments have failed at the fundamental task of protecting their people. And until we are willing to confront that truth, not with colonial self-hatred, but with clear-eyed accountability, we are going to keep watching our people die from preventable causes while the world calls it fate. This is not fate. This is a choice, and we can choose differently. So guys, as I come to the end of this video, if this video resonated with you, kindly share it with someone who might need to hear it. Drop a comment down below with your thoughts, and if you're in a position to help, not just with money, but with pressure, with advocacy, with truth-telling, now, this is the time. I'm the Bantu Merchant, and we are done normalizing the preventable. Thank you for watching. I hope See you in the next one.